A very good evening to our dignitaries today. We have along with us our chairman, CA Jayachera, and our speaker, CA Amar Agarwala, and our vice chairman, CA Ranjit Agarwal, will be joining very soon. And the good evening to all the students who are listening to us, who are there to listen to this particular webcast on learning strategy for excelling in examination. Students, this session we are having it for you because you are having still that time for you to make up your mind to strategize how really to study now. So accordingly, our chairman will be also guiding you as to what all the BOS is doing for all of us, for all the students, and thereafter Mr. Amar Agarwal will take over from him. I welcome our chairman, CA Jayachera, who is a prolific speaker, and he's a very multi-talented person with 30 degrees. He's having certificate courses, and he's a very knowledgeable man. And once he starts speaking, you'll all get mesmerized. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Vandaji. That BOS is looking into. Well, Board of Studies, friends, is a particular committee for you people, for students. Right? This is a particular board which has been established for the benefits of the students. So BOS, should I say, it is for the students, and we just take all the initiatives which are beneficial to you people. We keep on getting feedback from students, and on the basis of that, we keep on improving upon our study material. We improve upon contents and have a number of initiatives. Well, quickly, if I touch upon a few, the first and foremost thing with students would have been very happy. I would be very happy if I could have seen their faces. The first initiative is making the study material crisp and concise. I am sure students would love to listen to it. If from 4,000 pages, suppose your study material goes up to 3,500 or say 3,000, in terms of bulk getting reduced and it getting enriched in terms of quality, I am sure that students would love to do that. And that is what Board of Studies has been doing for a number of years. Every year, if you look at it, of course, I hope you don't look at it every year. You only go for study material of one particular year and go to the next level. But suppose if you have compared the last 4 years study material, you must have seen that every year it is becoming more crisp, more crispier. It is becoming more, I can say, interesting. So this year also the endeavor of the Board of Studies is to make it very much concise and crisp. We had number of meetings to weed out some unwarranted contents and only keeping which was much more relevant. So we are making it more interesting. Another important thing, student friends, please understand. Just imagine the scene. Tomorrow, we already started with that and we'll continue this over a period of years. Just imagine this fact, along with the hard copy of study material, getting a soft copy in PDF format, I'm sure, and timely revision in the PDF format can be one of the very important things for you. That is what the Board of Studies has already done. You can find all these things on our portal. Moving ahead, just imagine you are traveling somewhere and Amarji, these days the youngsters are always with this headphones and earphones. So if the study materials are in the format of audiobooks, I think that would be another very important thing for students. And that is what Board of Studies is doing. Not only that, just imagine if in the years to come, when you go through your study materials, right, you have some links, you have some audio links, you have some video links. So when you're going through some chapter and there is a very important topic, say on derivative or say on variance analysis, and you want some more clarity, and you just click it, and there is a faculty who is going to, explain you this particular concept. So slowly and gradually, we are moving away from the age-old black and white study material, which Amarji must have used in his time. I must have used in my time. From that black and white to color, from bulky to crispier, right? From lower coverage to wider coverage with different case studies, more examples, better examples with clarity, synchronized, right? Going all in a beautiful flow, at the same time converting them into ebooks and then embedding the videos into it. I'm sure it is going to be a wonderful learning experience for the students. That is a very major important thing that we are doing. Another very good thing that has happened, student friends, is that during this year, our CA course, our CA curriculum has got the recognition of a PG, that is post-graduation. Now, many of the student friends might feel our knowledge is much above PG. Why only PG? Friends, definitely our knowledge is much, much more above the PG levels. But we have to understand, till last year, even after completing chartered accountancy, when you would apply for something, technically in some of the government cases or somewhere, you were considered not even graduate. Today, at least we are considered not only graduate, but postgraduate. This is going to help all those students who want to go abroad. When you want to go to some country, right, and there at that particular country, they have their own norms, right? Now with this PG recognition, you are going to get some more points for that. That is one very major thing. Of course, for the purpose of government also, you will have some benefits. Not only for that, for MPhil or PhD or any such type of research work also, now your qualification has some more weightage. So this is one of the steps Board of Studies has taken up for you. Another very crucial step this year we are taking up is, friends, let us understand, the Board of Studies does not decide upon the future syllabus. Whatever the syllabus has been decided by the council, approved by the government, the Board of Studies makes books on that, study material on that, right? RTP on that, mock test papers on that, and such type of things Board of Studies does. But it is the correct Committee for Review on Education and Training which thing decides about the future course of our curriculum. That means what our future curriculum should be like. So this year, Board of Studies is partnering with the correct Committee for Review in Education and Training, whereby we will deliberate, we will discuss about what should be the future curriculum. Whether our future curriculum should have 3 stages or should have 4 stages, whether we should have 20 papers or we should have 15 papers, how many practical, how many theories, whether industrial training should be given more preference or articleship should be there, whether transfer should be allowed, whether it should not be allowed, what type of IT training should be there, or what type of OP or MCS training should be there, or to what extent technology should be brought into the syllabus, or to means how to keep on changing syllabus in such a way that it is more beneficial to students. All these aspects are covered under CRET, and this year CRET has been formed. Generally, CRET used to be formed in the earlier years, every decade, but this year the visionary president of ICAI, CA Nihar Jambusariyaji, and the vice president, CA Devashish Mitraji, have been visionary and kind enough to have the CRET within a very short span of time. So because of this CRET, very soon you will see some major changes coming up in the syllabus. So these are some of the things regarding Board of Studies. Now let me come to the today's talk, that is on examination. Now generally when examination comes up, and we talk to the students, there is an element of fear at times, but I'll put up this in a different manner, Tell me, what is a concert to a musician? Amarji, when you are talking to the students, what is a concert for a musician? If you are a wonderful musician, right, the auditorium is full with the audience, wonderful audience, and today you are going to play, how would you feel? I think you'd be out of the world, right? Why? Because you are a musician, you are excellent in this, your domain is music, and you have to showcase your skill or your talent. You have to do something what you already know, you are champion or you are master at. Similarly, just imagine the scene, you are a dancer, and today there is a dance party, right? How do you feel? How do you feel? Or let us put it differently. You are a photographer or a painter, and suppose today it is an exhibition for your painting. How do you feel? I think that is what examination is about. Please understand, if I am a painter, exhibition is an opportunity to exhibit my art. If I am a singer, orchestra and the audience is an opportunity to exhibit my art, my talent, my passion, my interest. Similarly, what is examination? If your domain is accountancy, if your domain is finance, if your domain is tax, tell me what examination is about. So please understand one thing. Generally, when somebody thinks about examination, always, an element of, I can say, anxiety or fear or something like that pops up. Rather than that, examination is a wonderful mechanism or examination is a wonderful opportunity to showcase. Friends, believe me, not just because I am the chairman board of studies, I am telling you, but on the day of accounts examination or mathematics examination or finance examination, particularly, I am too much fascinated by numbers, figures. So when it comes to accounts, costing, FM or something, if I have to face these examinations, it's a luxury for me. And if you have a fear factor in terms of examination, then you have to think about it. Imagine an Indian soldier. Imagine an Indian soldier going for war, right, against enemy country. Now just imagine if he says no, oh God, save me, this, that. Do you think he's going to be a wonderful soldier? Definitely not. This is the time for which he was being prepared. Similarly, examination, you are a soldier. You are going on the battlefield. You have to go with that particular spirit. My point is that, what is examination? Is examination there to disturb you, or is it there to find out what is hidden in you? Right? Just imagine a scene. If there is an examination, you clear the exams with flying colors. That means now you have understood, and the body, that is the institute, has understood that this person deserves to go ahead, to move ahead. He has good knowledge. He has good skill on this subject. So the institute allows you to go to the next stage. Isn't it wonderful? And let us take it otherwise. Suppose you do not clear the examination. Now, of course, it might look painful, right? But the fact is, if suppose you give examination, if you don't clear, what does it mean? Does it mean institute is against you, or examiners are against you? Definitely not. They have just set some benchmark. They have set some standard. Below that standard, you will fail. Above the standard, you are going to pass. Now, just imagine this. If by chance you do not clear, that also is an opportunity to reflect upon yourself. It is a time to self-introspect. Now, suppose you do not win a cricket match. What does it mean? Does it mean you don't know cricket? The answer is no. Maybe your batting was very good. Maybe your bowling was very good. Maybe in terms of fielding, you are not so very good. Maybe. Right? Similarly, in your examination, suppose you do not clear. What does it mean? It's a trying to introspect, find out what is the reason why you did not clear. Maybe you are lacking in terms of presentation. Maybe you are not so good with memory, or maybe you are not so very good with your language, or maybe you are not good in terms of time management. You could not complete the paper, or maybe we can say description, lack of description, or presentation, or whatever you can say. At least something was missing. Please do understand, something was missing. Now, most of the students would say, "Samajh mein nahi aata, main kaise fail ho gaya?" Now, this is a very scary statement, because if after failing, samajh mein aata hai, why you have failed, then at least next time you will improve upon that and clear. But if you say samajh nahi aata, then there is a risk that second time also you will repeat it. Please understand that. See, institute does not fail you. Please understand one thing. Institute is helpless. Institute is helpless. It can neither pass you nor fail you. It is you and you only who will allow the institute to pass or fail. If you are above a particular level, institute does not have any powers to fail you. If you are below the standard, institute does not have any power to pass you. So everything is in your hands. It's ultimately whatever you perform, your result is reflected by way of that. And many times students would say, I had expected 80 marks, but I got 40. Now, friends, that would mean what you are expecting is totally, I can say wild, or totally, sorry to say that, sometimes ridiculous. There cannot be too much of variance, right? Maybe some variance might be that. That actually means it's a time to look into it. Amarji, one simple example is, of course, you must have also heard about it. When you go to Dubai, then some people say that getting a driving license in Dubai is as difficult as passing CA exams and more expensive than becoming a chartered accountant. That is what I've heard from many of my Dubai-based friends. Now, friends, tell me one thing. Suppose I go for a driving license, right? I don't know driving. I don't know proper driving. And I get the driving license. What will happen? Accidents. Either I'll kill myself or somebody else. So this is the risk of passing without knowledge. If failing with knowledge is a risk, passing without knowledge is a bigger risk. Risk for yourself, risk for the society, risk for the economy, risk for everyone. So please understand one thing. You are a musician and you have to be prepared for the music concert, right? You are a CA student. Your attitude should speak, right? You should be very positive about taking up your exams. So now, how do I prepare for examination? We have a wonderful speaker who is going to cover each and every aspects in details at length, giving you what it was examples. But I'm just quickly going to deliberate upon it. The topic can be divided into how you prepare during the year, at the same time how you prepare a few days before the examination, how you prepare on the days of exam, and even once you give the examination, thereafter before result you have some good reasonable time, how to utilize it, whether for studies or acquisition of other skills, but how not to waste and utilize it. Ajay, does I, when I talk about such type of things, then one question that a student might ask is, just keeping on study, is it all about CA? No, no. I don't want CA students only to keep on doing studies, and so on. No. I want the CA students to go to dance parties also and study. So you should be good at dance as well as accounts. You should be wonderful singers and should be wonderful in taxation also. My point is, you can live your entire life, you can do whatever you like, but one important thing is that you have chosen this domain. Whatever domain you have chosen, you should be an expert in it. So I'll just quickly tell you, please do not wait only till the exams, right? If you are studying only to clear examination and not for gaining knowledge, not for investing into yourself, then you are having a very small goal. See, the purpose of studying is not to clear exams, not to get a qualification, not to earn livelihood. The purpose is investment into yourself. Purpose is investment into yourself. Just imagine. Suppose I or Amar Agarwala ji or Vandna ji, whatever the case may be, we were conversing in English. Now, English is not our mother tongue, right? But by way of regularly investing ourselves, right, in English, we are in a position to use this language. If you do not invest into something, you will not be good at it. If you invest in health by going to gyms and playgrounds, you will be fit. Similarly, if you invest in your studies, you are going to be mentally fit. So please understand, our studies is not only for the sake of examination, it is for investment in ourselves. Who is going to be benefited? You yourself. So my first suggestion is use your full year. That does not mean I don't want you to play cricket. I don't want you to go for musical concerts, do everything. Time management, right? Everybody has 24 hours, but there are some people who can work out wonders, right? There comes the skill, or there comes the science of time management. Please do a proper time management. Be energetic and see to it that you utilize your entire year for purpose of studying. Well, if we talk some 2-3 months before the examination, I might suggest that divide your day into 3 parts with 2 or 3 subjects a day. If you take only one subject, maybe throughout the day it might be a little monotonous. If you take so many subjects, then you are going to make, I can say, like too many cooks spoil the feast, you are going to make a khichdi. So maybe 2 or 3 subjects, and maybe one subject which can be calculative, like accounts, costing, FM is a more calculative subject. Another subject can be a little more memory and knowledge-based subject like income tax, GST, company law. And some subject, third category, which may be a little more descriptive, maybe information, technology, strategic management or something. So 3 categories of subject. Pick up one subject from each category and divide your day. Have a proper plan. Work at least for 2 to 3 subjects a day. Once your exams are proceeding near, I think that is the first thing, right? On the day of exam, after the exams, how you are going to do all these things. We have a wonderful speaker. It would be a mistake to continue further on this. Maybe on some other occasion, when some board of studies event is there, I would come back to interact with you. Maybe some live program. Today, I'm sure you are going to enjoy, and I would request you, you might even note down a few points which our today's eminent speaker, CA Amar Agarwala ji, is going to deliver upon. So once again, very good evening to all of you, and thanks a lot to all my students, and keep in giving your feedback to the Board of Studies so that we can keep on improving ourselves. Thanks once again. Vandaji, back to you.
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you have set the tone for the day. And I think where you are stopping, I think CA Amar Agarwala will take over from there and tell the students in detail as to how to strategize their plan for the studies. And students, kindly note, our chairman had said, do not keep studying all the time, because studying all the time will not take you anywhere. Mix and match your studies with what you really like to do, what is your hobby, which will make you energize you more, and you will be able to use your time in a better way. So we are going to introduce our next speaker, CA Amar Agarwal. He's a professional who is completely non-conventional. He is a teacher and trainer by practice and a storyteller by passion. So, students, please note, he's going to tell you everything as if he's narrating a story to you. So, I think we all love to listen to stories and which have a lot of mark on us. So, I think see, Amar Agarwala will be telling you things in a storytelling manner only, because he is a prolific writer also. He writes poems, plays, novels, and he's an ardent traveler who travels the world meeting people and seeing places. So he is also a practicing chartered accountant also. He's a person with so many like, it's not that he's restricted to practicing chartered accountancy. He's into different areas also, and with his experience and the way he has been motivating many of the professionals, the various categories of people, he's actually going to rather talk to you as to how to plan your studies before exam time. Students, you are still having 3 more months with you, and it's not very late. We hope that by this time you have at least studied the entire study material once, and now he's going to tell you how really to strategize your work, how to prepare, how to divide your months into days and then days into hours. So accordingly, he'll be also letting you know about the BOS publications also, and as to how to work upon and be successful in your career. Over to you, CA Amar Agarwal.
Thank you so much, Vandana ji, for your eloquent introduction. I feel very humbled, and I would like to begin with a deep word of gratitude for ICAI, because they have called me, they have invited me to this webcast, and a special word of regard for our chairperson, Jay Chera, who heads the Board of Studies, and CA Ranjit Agarwal, who hasn't yet joined, but I'm sure he'll be here. So, it's a pleasure to be here today, and welcome all my young and bright friends. It's always so nice to speak to such bright, intelligent, creative minds. And like our chairperson has set the tone by saying of, how things have changed over the years, and how the old order has changed and the new order has come in, from black and white to color, and from color to so many more new things. So, I would like to take you through with my way of looking at examinations, and how we can deal with it, because the world is getting more and more competitive, and I suppose we all need to be at the edge of our seats. But let's take a look at how we should deal with this. I'm going to make you go through this with a small set of PPTs, which will help me to explain my point. So I'll just share my screen with the PPTs, so it'll be a little easier for me to. Is this visible?
Yes.
Nanaji?
It's perfectly fine. So, yeah, we are able to see.
I'm going to go through this. I'm going to begin this, young friends, with a small set of adages. I don't know if you know what the meaning of adages is, but it's basically, sayings, all old time sayings and proverbs. And while one of the proverbs, the first one is something I read long back, which I'll tell you about, the others are something which are my own, because I just felt that we should go above this age of cut, copy, and paste. And we should be original, it's very important. And I think chartered accountants are, whatever people may think about us, that bookkeepers are a little boring, but I think we're very creative people. Because when we can create figures and we can create people's balance sheets and their financial futures, and we can probably create a lot more other things. So the first is, the first proverb which I remember is something which I read in a book. Many years ago, when I was still early in my CA, there used to be a ship which used to come in Calcutta only in winters, and it was a floating library. It used to come from Europe, and it had only books. And I remember going there with a cousin of mine, and the last time I visited this ship, this bookstore, this floating bookstore, I remember picking up a book. I don't know where the book is, but I remember the name of the book. It was called Arnim's Answers. And it begins with this proverb, which I haven't forgotten. Surprisingly, it's been 35 years, but I haven't forgotten this proverb. It's left such an incredible impression in my mind. And the proverb says that examinations are formidable even to the best prepared. Formidable means they're so important. They're such a heavy exercise. It's not easy. Exams are not easy for anyone. So even for the best prepared, it's formidable, because the greatest fool may ask more than the wisest man can answer. Remember something, even a fool can ask you so many questions that you would be struggling to answer, and our paper setters are very intelligent people. So, we have to keep in mind that, our exams is serious business. I do not know who wrote it. It's anonymous. Someone somewhere wrote it. It doesn't matter who writes it. What matters is that knowledge must go down the ages. We have to be like, the squirrels. Squirrels hide nuts in different places, in different trees, and they forget about it. And those nuts grow into trees, and it adds to nature. So they do a wonderful job. And I think one of the best things you can do, being an educated person, we all can do, is that we can share knowledge, because light has to be spread. It cannot be kept. It has to be spread. So this gentleman, whoever wrote it, left a piece of marvelous thought, which is for us to share. So that is the first thing. We must take exams very seriously. And I'm going to come on to my next proverb, which says that sitting and passing exams is a part of education process. It has some deficiencies. This learning and giving exams, it's a little old, but nevertheless, it begets us degrees and honors. But my friends, just remember something. The ultimate degrees and certificates are all invisible. They cannot be seen, they can be felt. They're very rare. And they're not given by a school, college, or an institution. They're given by life. So, even though we get very serious about exams, but you have to know something, that, it's not the end of the world if you don't do well, or if you haven't got through. It's not the end of the world at all. Because the best certificates are going to be given to you by life. They're all going to be invisible, You can't frame them, you can't laminate them, you can't put them on a wall and show people, but you're going to feel them inside you. And I suppose some of the real big people, scientists and people who lead the world are not people with any formal education. But, they've left a mark on life, because life gave them certificates, which you and me can see today. But they do not have any certificates to show. So don't get so worked up. Even if you don't do well in exams, it's perfectly all right. There's always a next chance. Life always gives you chances. So, let us not feel disappointed when we don't do well. That was the second adage. And this is, of course, written by me, because I don't believe in using a lot of proverbs which belong to someone else. Like I told you, we must all be very creative. Now, I'm taking a chapter out of what our chairperson just now said, that, the institute doesn't fail you. It doesn't pass you. If we fail, it's we. If we pass, it's we. So, exams are they don't really fail us. Sadly, we ourselves fail. We care not to set the mast of our ships right, and we set out to sail. Once upon a time, when ships has mast and they had those sails, you had to adjust the sail really well if you wanted to sail. Otherwise, you won't be able to sail. So no one fails us. We prepare in a manner. We get ready in a manner which results in our failure. It's nobody else doing it. Most of the time, when we fail in life, whether it's an examination, whether it's a personal situation, whether it's anywhere else, most of the time, it's we who fail ourselves. No one else fails us. No one can fail us because all of us were born free and we were all born to win. We were not born to fail. So sometimes we do, but then the responsibility is ours. So let us not blame anybody. If we fail, like our chairperson said, we got to find the reason. We can't blame it on fate, on luck, and I don't know what happened. And everybody, moment something goes wrong, we blame someone else for it. But I think the first person we should blame for, especially in a debacle in exams, has to be ourselves. I'm going to go on to the next one. This again has been written by me. And this says, like our chairperson again said, that we get very fearful, we get very nervous, and it's normal. You feel hot, you feel cold, you feel fear. It's an emotion which comes to all of us. It's not that somebody who's really well prepared doesn't have fear. He has fear too. Maybe a soldier at the border, he has fear too. So, fear is worship like some god. In our country, fear is worship. We worship fear. So, it's worship like some god. Desperennial are its streams. Bathe not in its doubtful waters. They will kill your precious dreams. Unfortunately, we love embracing fear. We love the idea of fear. If you look at television, you look at news channels, you look at news anchors, that's the only thing they're selling: fear and sorrow, and we lap it up. So give this feeling a little break. Let's not doubt ourselves at all. We doubt ourselves too much. We doubt everything around us. We doubt our abilities. We doubt our own talents. So let's not do that. Let's face the facts that when we've taken up CA, we will be able to do it. And let's be positive in the sense that every day let us tell ourselves that yes, we can do it. Even though there will be doubts, even though there will be doubters around us, but it doesn't matter. That's again an adage done by me. And finally, the last of the proverbs: life versus examinations. The biggest examination which anyone can give, which you can give, which I can give, which anyone can give, which anyone has ever given or will give, is life. There cannot be a bigger examination than life. But formal examination, the kind you and me are giving for our CA, or the one I gave and you're going to give now, the difference is, in life, the examination comes first, the lesson comes afterwards. But in examination, you learn the lesson first, you go through your study materials, your books and whatever, and then comes the exam. I mean, just look at the present pandemic world. The pandemic hit us first. The lessons are now coming, and probably how long they're going to come, no one knows. So, life always has a surprise or two up its sleeve. Exams also carry surprises. So I think we must all be prepared. We must all be prepared for surprises, because that's the most common element in our lives. There will always be a surprise or two. I'm sure even when you give our examinations, we come across questions, we come across situations which you're not very well prepared for. But then that's how life is going to be. So examination is like a prototype, It's symbolic that this is exactly what love is going to be. The examination helps you because it gives you a lesson first. But life is not going to do that. So I think exams is a very small way to prepare ourselves for life, because that is exactly what's going to be happening in life. Finally, after this adage, let's kind of come to the main element about the preparation part. And I have divided it into three parts. One was, it's on your screen, is a long-term strategy. It'd be more helpful for someone who has little more time. For the ones who are going to be sitting in November, probably you have a limited time span, which I can completely comprehend. But it is basically for those who've got a longer time span. So maybe it might help you a little bit, but for the ones who are probably going to give in May, it'll be very helpful for them. And the other one is the short-term strategy, which will be helpful for the guys who are going to be sitting for the exams in November this year. So it's in two parts, and the last part is a kind of a story which I thought I'm going to share with you. So let's first take up the first part, the part about the long-term strategy of how we should go about our studies. See, the first, I'm not going to go into absolute depths, because we have limitations of time. We just have a 2-hour program, and I go to try and limit the time so that in the end we have some time for question answers, which we will be taking from students all over the country. So if I can keep this to a minimum, then we have some more time for question answers, because I'm sure you have a lot of questions, a lot of gray areas which need to be addressed, right? So the first thing is, when you are studying for CA, Remember, it's serious business and you got to be studying throughout the year. The studying before the exams, 1 month to go, or you've taken leave for articleship, you're giving two groups 45 days, one group 30 days. If you're going to be restricted to that kind of studies, well, it's bad news. Guys, it's bad news. You got to be studying through the year. That is something which is absolutely a necessity. You got to study through the year. Through the year doesn't mean it's not one day that you can't miss. No, probably you will miss days in between. You might even miss days in between. But the program for your studies, for your preparation, has to be spread across the year. That is absolutely number one. Number two, carry your books wherever you go. Just reminds me, not that I knew this, and not that this is ever told to me by anyone, but once upon a time when I was doing articleship, I was in my second year, and those days articles were not as bright as you. We were little dumb and little straightforward. So it was 6:30, and I was waiting for my principal to come. He hadn't come, and we were so paranoid that we won't be able to go unless he came and said that, okay, you go. So while I was waiting for him, a friend of his walked into the office, and he looked at me, and after a while he called me into my principal's chamber. And when he called me and he looked at me and he said that, what are you doing? So I said, well, I'm waiting for sir to come. He said, and while you wait for him, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing nothing. Whatever was given to me is all done. He said, and don't you study CA? I said, yes, I do. So he said that, and where are your books? I said, they are home. So he said, why are they home? Why don't you carry it with you? I said, I'm going to carry my books and do what? I have work to do over here. He's saying true, but then there are a lot of time in between, like you're sitting now idle. Would it not be nice had you had your book and you would have probably gone through probably half an hour, 1 hour of studies? I think yes, but I mean, if I take my book, then I might be scolded because he's saying you're a student of CA. You're studying CA. Everyone knows that, whether the place where you go to audit or this office. If you're studying a book, you're preparing, it's perfectly all right. You're not reading a film magazine or a comic. Wherever you go, carry a book with you. And you will see the difference it makes. Believe me, I did not even know this man. And he left me $1 million worth of advice for absolutely free. And I got the hang of CA. Wherever you go, carry your books with you. You've gone for a movie and you think that, what is sir saying? I'm going for a movie with my friends and carrying a book? Sure. I'm not saying go to the movie and read the book. No way. Which fool would do it? That book is going to be sitting on your lap all the time when you're going to watch that movie. And that book is going to remind you, you know what you should be doing? You know what you should be doing? You should be studying. So when you get back from the movie, maybe at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever time, you're going to be opening the books and studying because that guilt will drive you to study. You go to a marriage, you go to a movie, you go for a holiday, your book should follow you like a dog everywhere to remind you that that is exactly what you should be doing. And when you do your CA, your primary task is to study and get through your exams. So carry your books wherever you go. Manage time. Well, now that's a big question. Someone with 24 hours manages a country, and someone with 24 hours barely manages to get his own small things done at home. That's the difference. And that's a huge difference. So, well, let's come to the crux of it. How do you manage time? 3 years, when you're doing articleship, it's tough. You've got morning college, you've got articleship, probably you're going for tuitions, and then you're transporting, going to and fro. If you're going to leave this pandemic time out, talking about the time, probably in some time to come, you'll probably have the same routines coming up. How do you do it? I mean, how do you find time? Because, with communication and the other things on, the time is very limited. By the time you reach home at night, you're already too exhausted to study. Weekends are madness. What do? Well, you steal time. You must be wondering, what is this man teaching us? He's teaching us to steal. Well, you're stealing for something good. You steal time, you do well. I think you do yourself, your family, and probably a lot others a big favor. So it's perfectly all right. How do you steal time? You have your book in your bag, like I told you. You have time in between your audit, read. You have time in the metro, waiting for the train, read. You have gone to a client and the client is busy and he probably will take 15 minutes in a meeting more, ask you to wait. Take out your book and read. Take out your book and read. You need to steal time from others. This stolen time, you will be surprised, will add up to a lot of time every day. You have 1.5 hours stolen every day. You can imagine in a month how much you've got. You've got almost 45, 50 hours. 6 months, that's 300 hours. You know what that means? It means you can literally complete the entire revision of one group without having to spend a single minute on it at home or in your regular study time. So you can very well imagine what you get by stealing time. So whenever you get time in between, take that time out. And when I say stealing time, it even means traveling time. You are in a bus and you're holding, maybe the handles above, or maybe you're holding a board or a rod. It's fine. You can't read a book, I understand, but you can always think about what you read. That's studies too. Studies is not about only reading and writing. It's about reminiscing. You got to think, you got to remember what you read. And when are you going to remember it? When you can't possibly read and write. That's the time you remember. Remember what? What you read. Whatever you remember, great. You don't remember, you know that, okay, this is something I don't remember. I got to go back and read it. So even when you're probably standing in the balcony, you're probably brushing your teeth, you're probably walking. You can't study, true, but you can always think. That's study too. So steal time wherever you can. The next one, be in good company. It's very important. Guys, a man is known by the company he keeps. It is so important. It is so very important that you keep the company of those who regularly study. So, well, I'm just reminded of a small story which might just break the monotony of telling you study, study, study. And the monotony is, in Calcutta, there's a place called Poddar Chhatrinivas where studies are very important. And unless you are doing some higher education, you don't get a place to stay. It's basically a PG. And one of my very good friends used to stay there many years ago when I was doing my CA. So one day I went to see him. The rooms are such that there are four in one room. Each has a bed, a table, a chair, and an almirah. And you study. And there's a mess down. You go to eat your food over there, and then you in the day you go to your articleship or work or whatever. But unless you are a student and you're studying such kind of courses and you have a certain degree, a certain standard in your marks, you don't get a place to stay there. So they're very particular. So this friend of mine had a place there, and I would go. And the first time when I went to meet him over there, he had just come from Bihar into Calcutta, and he looked very miserable. So I asked him, "Why are you so miserable? What happened, Raj?" His name is Raj. So he said, Amar, I'm really fed up with these three roommates of mine. I'm going to go mad. I was saying, "Why? Are they troubling you?" He's saying, "No, they don't trouble me, but they're very strange." I said, "Why? How are they strange?" He's saying, on Sunday afternoon, after I had a proper meal, I was very sleepy and I got into my bed to sleep. And I was wondering what these guys were doing, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, they were all studying. So I asked them, "Don't you rest on Sunday afternoons?" They said, "No, we study." So I was feeling very guilty. I even sat down to my desk and started reading. And then it was about 9 o'clock at night. I was hungry again. And I asked them, "Don't you go for dinner?" They said, "Yeah, we'll go late." So by the time it was 10 o'clock, they went for dinner. I went for dinner. They came back. I was sleepy. They said, "You know what? We are going to study." And they studied till almost 2 at night. Now, how could I sleep? These guys are not sleeping. They do nothing. They are only studying. I'm at the end of my wits. I don't know what I'm going to do. My friend passed his CA 6 months ahead of me, because I used to sit and study at home. And every half an hour, I would feel the need to eat something, or I would feel the need to watch TV, or somebody would be calling me. And there, you just sit over there and you study because everybody else is studying. And you better study. So be in good company. Be in the company of those who are keen with the studies, not with the shirkers who will say, "Okay, we'll see, we can do it tomorrow. Okay, it's not so urgent." This is urgent business, and you got to do it now. So be with those who study. Self-study is good. If you're studying yourself, great. You're studying in a group, better. I don't really recommend tuition, but if you're really in difficulty, you have no one to help you, you need tuition in 1 or 2 subjects, is perfectly all right. But getting tuitions in all subjects or in majority subjects, it's a bad idea. It's a very bad idea, because you're being spoon-fed, And don't forget, one day the doors of this little place where you stay is going to be held wide open, and you're going to come out into the corporate jungle, and then nobody's going to feed you with a spoon. So you better be prepared for life. The more you can rely on yourself, the better. See, our days, I'm talking about 30, 35 years ago, there were hardly any tuitions. There were no tuitions, there were no pen drive class, this drive class, that drive class. Institute didn't have, Institute today has all kinds of systems. You got virtual classes, you've got apps where you can do your classes, you've got revisionary classes, and you've got mock test questions. We had nothing. We did literally everything ourselves, and it was tough going. But I'm so glad for that, because today I think it has really made us people who can take any kind of battle, any kind of trouble, any kind of challenge. Because once upon a time it was challenging. We didn't have a choice. So study yourself, great. Study with groups, better. Tuitions, I'm not really recommending, but you're really in a bad state in some subject, maybe you could take help in one or two. Number 6, studying is a process of reading and writing. Remember something, what most of the students do is, mistakenly, they spend 80% of the time reading, which is not a good idea. Why? Guys, don't forget. When you go for your examination, you go to write down. The teacher is not going to ask you, or the invigilator won't ask you, or the paper setter is not going to ask you how many hours you studied. They're going to say how well you wrote. So if you're reading for 3 hours, you got to write for 3 hours. You're reading for 4 hours, you got to write for 4 hours. You're reading for 5 hours, you got to be writing for 5 hours. Your hand must move, because in the examination, what will count is how well your hands move. That the hand and your thought coordination, not just the reading part. So please write as much as you read. And when you're not reading and writing, point number 7, you remiss, you remember. Have you ever seen a cow or a buffalo? You know how they regurgite? They put in the food all at one time, and they keep it here in the dewlap in their necks. And when they have time, they sit quietly in one corner. They regurgite the food, and then they munch it well, so that they can digest the food well. That's exactly what you do. Put it all together. And when you have time, now you go through it in your mind. You go through it with the fine tooth comb in your mind to see what you remember and what you don't. What you remember, great. What you don't, go back and read it. And you can do that anytime. You're walking, you're in a transport, you're waiting for somebody, you're going somewhere, you're trying to fall asleep and you're not getting sleep. Try and think of what you studied that day. Who knows, it might even help you to fall asleep. So remiss, it's so important. Remissing means remembering what you read. Remember, when we read, if you read with a pencil or your finger under the line or with a highlighter, you read much faster. Your reading is much faster. So please read with a pen or a pencil or a highlighter. Whatever is important, underline them. Why do you underline them? So that later on you can revise them. So that later on you can write them. So that later on you can revise them. So that later on you can write them. You can do both revision and writing. It has to be together, the reading, writing together, right? So highlight the important parts, underline them, put stars, something which is very important, not so important, put another. Your book after the examination is done should look like a battleground, messed up with highlighters, pen marks, pencil marks, crosses, ticks. You have studied. But after exam, if your book looks like, it looks like in a showroom condition, then you haven't studied. And it's fine. The book can have pencil marks, pen marks. It can even have dal and chawal marks, because while you're eating, you're studying. It's fine. It's fine. Goddess Saraswati won't be annoyed. She will be pleased that you love her. So it doesn't matter. Now, how to study subjects you do not like? Now this is a problem. We can't like all subjects. Like all the food which is put on the table every day for lunch or dinner may not be to your liking, but you have to eat it. You can't help it. We don't like probably snake gourd or bitter gourd, or we don't like karela, but you got to have it because that's good for your health. Same for your studies. There's some subjects we don't like, but we have to do it. We have to do it. So use your imagination. Tell yourself, I know I don't like this, but I need to do it because this is a part of the curriculum. You got to tell yourself that this is important. I have to do it. Don't neglect it, because moment you neglect a subject, that will trouble you till the end of eternity. Don't neglect it. If you stay to it, you put efforts to it, you probably take help from somebody, maybe a friend, maybe a guide or a mentor, teacher. It would not be as bad as you think it is. Nothing is as good or as bad as it looks at first sight. So when you look at it, you don't feel good, but it's not probably as bad as you think it is. Don't neglect it. It needs to be read like the other subjects. Otherwise, this one subject will bring all the other subjects down. Maybe you romanticize it, you know what I mean? No harm. Don't only look at your books as if it's a piece of paper, has to be read. Look at your book as, look at your book as probably, as a lover, as somebody who romances, as somebody who's a beloved. You can always do that. Right? So a book is not just something to be read, it's your friend. Don't take it as a stranger, as an outsider. You got to do it, oh, you can't help it. There are various ways of looking at it. So don't look at it with those eyes. Remember, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So when you look at it with nice eyes. Don't look at it with suspicious or with bad eyes. Okay. I think one of the most wonderful ways, I think one of the best ways to study, I think one of the best ways to study is to teach someone. Right? One of the best ways to study is to teach someone. You teach a friend, you teach a classmate, you teach anyone. I think one of the best ways to study is to teach someone. I mean, when you teach someone, you teach yourself better. And you'd be surprised if you think that you're just teaching somebody for your own standard, that's good enough. That's good enough. That's good. But if you teach someone below your standard, say you're teaching maybe someone in school, or maybe someone who's probably in class 11 or 12, or maybe in graduation, it's fine. You'd be surprised. It's fine, because they all add up. It adds up to your communication. It adds up to your expression. It adds up to your patience. It adds up to your motivation, because when you teach someone and that someone does well, you're automatically inspired and motivated to do well yourself. You need that. And what can be better than you motivating yourself, you telling yourself that I am good because I taught so and so has done well. So teach someone. And if you are educated, if you are knowledgeable, and you're not spreading knowledge, you're not spreading education, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame if you don't teach someone and you yourself are educated. Just imagine what would civilization have been if people who acquire knowledge, they don't share it. Just imagine, civilization would move forward. Supposing I lived in the old Stone Age and I found probably the wheel, or I found the fire or something like that, and I say, no, I'm not going to share it with anyone. It's taken me a lot of effort. Oh, it was hard work. I am not going to teach anyone. Just imagine what would have happened to civilization. It would have stopped. It would have stopped. So please teach someone. I think it's the best thing you could do for yourself and for education. Okay. Now that was the long term. For the ones who will be facing the exams now, and I know you don't have much time, you just got about 2 months time, which isn't a lot, but this is for the short-term strategy. The long-term strategy is all there, which I discussed with you. The short-term strategy is what you find on your screen right now. It's very important that we all make a timetable for our studies. Whether you're studying company law, or you're studying audit, or you're studying accountancy, or studying taxation, whatever you're studying, make a timetable. Before you go for an audit, you make an audit plan. So you make a study plan. Every subject. These are the subjects. This subject, I have to study so many chapters, and I've got to revise so many guideline answers, and I've got to do this suggested material, and I'm going to do this suggested reading. And as you keep doing your work, you keep ticking. Done. If you've revised it, 2 ticks. Revised. 1 look at the curriculum of what you made, and you know exactly what you've done and what is left. It gives you a bird's eye view of how much you prepared, how well you prepared, what is left. So make a very good timetable, a timetable which we can follow, which it's worth following. So have a rigid and a very fine timetable made for every subject. And as you do, tick out what you finished, right? Now, how to time yourself. You know, what usually students do is they take leave. I mean, through the year, they're studying whatever. And when they take leave, say 1.5 months, and you know, the graph goes up, they start studying. They begin with 6 hours a day, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. The exam has come and they fall straight down, head first. They go straight down, head first. Why? They're exhausted. You're doing 14 hours every day for 1.5 months, and you think you're born of some special energetic material which has been brought in from the universe. Are you joking? You can't do that. What do? Study full pelt. Fortnight to go, 15 days to go for exams. Pull the graph down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Go less. Don't go 5 hours. You've studied through the year. Pick up speed just the day before the exams, because that is the day of your Olympics. That's the day you have to run. Don't start. It's a marathon. When you're preparing for exam, it's a marathon, and marathon runners never run full pelt in the beginning. They hold on, they conserve the energy. So that just one lap, now they pick up speed. That's the time. You pick up speed one day before the exam, and you keep it up for the next 6, 7, 8 days. So 15 days to go. If you've ever seen an airplane in flight, it starts from its bay area, moves up, picks a little speed, slows down, speeds up again, finally takes the speed and the flight. That's exactly what you do. 15 days to go, slow down, conserve your energies, conserve your energies. 2 days to go, pick up speed. Exam days, run full pelt. That's the day you need to run. Don't exhaust yourself out before the exams. You are exhausted, your mind is tired, your hard disk is overburdened. Sometimes you can't remember, your mind plays tricks with you, so don't do that. How do you prepare for exams at home? You have exam papers, you've got mock papers, you've got guideline answers, everything at home. Sit and do them in exam stipulated time at home. If you have guideline answers, what stops you from doing that guideline answer in 3 hours at home? Copy it. Fine. I mean, you don't have to see the question and write it down in 30 minutes. 6 hours, 3 hours, 6 questions. You got about 25, 30 minutes per question. So that's what you get in exam hall. So try and do it in 25 minutes at home. Look at it and do it. Copy it. You won't be able to copy it in 30 minutes. You'll be surprised how that helps. You will be surprised how that helps. Look at the answers and copy it down. The next time, do it without looking at it. Time yourself for your practicals and some in accountancy, where you got 25 minutes in the exam hall, you hardly need 10 minutes to look at it and copy it down. 10 minutes. But the next time, cover it. Cover the answer and do it without seeing. If you've seen and done it the first time, you should be able to see it and do it without seeing it the second time. You can't do it repeated. You'll be surprised of this kind of exam stipulated writing at home improves your hand-eye coordination at the exam hall. Now your hands will move because your hands have been moving all through at home. You're not just writing those 3 hours in the exam hall. You have done that 3 hours 300 times at home. Your hand will move and you will be able to finish your paper well in time and revise it, which is so important for so many students who don't get the time to do it. I've already told you that the week before the exam, conserve your energy. Self-motivate. If you imagine your friends will motivate you, parents will motivate you, neighbors will motivate, they might. I'm not saying they won't, but I think the greatest motivation has to come from yourself. You must motivate yourself every day. You must tell yourself every day that I will pass. When you look at the mirror, probably you're shaving or you're putting makeup or you're grooming yourself. make sure you look at yourself once, at least once a day, and tell yourself, I can see myself and I can look at myself and I know that I'm going to be a chartered accountant, that I am going to qualify. Tell yourself this every day, morning, evening, night. I am going to qualify and I'm going to be a CA. And when I look at the mirror, I see a CA. It is so important. It is so important. As I said in the beginning, don't drown yourself in the stream of doubt. I cannot. It's so difficult. Oh, I didn't do it last time. I may again fail. Don't tell yourself these silly negative things. Please look at yourself and tell yourself that you can do it. You will do it. Tired? We all tire from studies. There are limits. Studying is a complete mental activity. So when you're tired, it's fine. Do some physical activity. Maybe do some exercise. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe do some yoga, meditation, whatever. Tire yourself physically too. You'll sleep better. When you tire yourself mentally too much, your mind is a hotbed of activity. Maybe you don't get enough sleep or rest. So when you do physical activity, now you will finally get good sleep. And good sleep is so important for your examination. So do some physical activity and find time to relax. Even our chairperson I mentioned this a short while back that it's fine. You should be able to dance. You should be able to sing. I mean, dance, sing, go for a movie, play games, be with your loved ones. You must have leisure time. It's so important. You got to balance your life out, because if you're only going to be studying, in the long run, I mean, you will be the most disinteresting person around, and everyone wants an interesting, nice, balanced person. So have an attitude which has open ends where you can let go. Don't be caught in. It's fine. I mean, those who study CA, they also go for movies. They also go for parties. They also go to meet people. They have a social life, maybe not as active as a lot of other people, but they have. I'm sure when your CA is over, you can probably make up for all the activities which you've lost, and you will make it up with so much more confidence because you feel so good that I'm a qualified CA. You're going to have that fun so many more times better than anyone else. So make sure you have time to relax and to have fun. Sleep is so important. As I told you, the more physical activities you do, the better you will sleep. You have to sleep for 7-8 hours a day. Remember, sleep is essential to rest your mind. Sleep is essential so that your body gets its daily dose of detoxification. So important, because when we sleep, our body gets detoxified. So that 7-8 hours is so important. You don't sleep well, you will start having problems with your memory, with remembering, with so many other things. So sleep well. I mean, one of the first things the doctor asks a patient is, are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Why? Because these are the two primary factors. He's eating well, he's sleeping well. Well, I think the basic thing is done. So eat. Examination, it's fine if you eat moderately. Don't overeat, because if you overeat, you tend to feel very sleepy and lethargic, especially the kind of environment we have across our country. So eat in moderation. Doesn't matter if you eat in small gaps, but get your proper sleep and rest. Before examination, don't talk too much. Talking unsettles the mind. Talking unsettles the mind. Have you ever seen? You've seen those monks and those priests and those Zen healers. What they do? They're sitting in a monastery. They're sitting somewhere in the mountains, and they're very quiet. They're probably uttering their own mantras, or they don't speak to anyone. Mind is calm. Mind is absolutely calm and tranquil. So you have to remember of not talking too much, especially before exams. Try and keep quiet. Try and remember what you've read. Try and motivate yourself. Tell yourself you're going to do well. You need time with yourself. You can talk about the exams after the exams is over with your friends as much as you want. But while it is on, remember, hold yourself. Keep that energy. Talking takes away a lot of your energy. Keep that energy reserved for your examination. Sometimes it happens that the paper doesn't go well, and the next paper becomes a problem, because that the past is haunting you. My God, I haven't done well. Now, if I don't get enough marks in this, even if I pass in this, I'll fail the group. I won't pass this. It's normal. But if you tell me from experience, let me tell you something, boys and girls. I think the papers in which I was most worried about were the papers I probably got good marks in, and the paper I was damn confident about, I scored less. It's so surprising. So often when you feel something is really bad or you've done badly, it's probably not as bad as you think it is, because you're too worked up. Some days may be a bad day. It's fine. Study with renewed enthusiasm for the next paper. You'll be surprised that you have actually got through the paper you were so worried about. If you have come this far, my friends, you're going to go a little further. It won't stop. Don't think that you're here because the wheels are going to stop. The wheels are going to move and they're going to take you forward. So don't worry. If some paper hasn't gone well, it's perfectly all right. No problem at all. Just let it pass. We think too much of the yesterdays and the tomorrows, and the today goes to a waste. You can only carry one day at a time. What is man doing? He's carrying the past, he's carrying the future, and he's trying to lug the whole weight, and he doesn't manage. You can only carry today. Read today, prepare today. That's enough. The past is a bucket of ashes. You have to let it go. And that's the rule. You always walk with your face towards the sun. Let the shadows be behind you. Right? So these are a few tips for your short-term strategy. And if you follow it, I'm sure things are going to be much better than what you imagine. A few words of motivation which I feel might be of use to you. So I just wrote down a few points. And I'm also going to tell you a couple of real life stories. But before that, some motivation. When we pass our CA final exams, when you pass your exams, along with you, 2 people pass their exams too with you. And I suppose you know who those 2 people are, your parents. Our parents, the ones who are studying CA, are very special. See, all parents are special. All parents are respectable. All parents are laudable. All parents are appreciable. Of course, undoubtedly, all parents are very special. But those parents who endeavor to take the children up for higher education, particularly tough courses like CA, they are very special. They're not ordinary people. They are not ordinary people. They're very special people. Don't forget, your parents are very special people. They're making this possible for you. And when you qualify, they qualify too. You get a tangible certificate. You can show people, you can laminate, you can probably hang it on a wall, you can give Xerox copies to people. They get certificates too, but they are not tangible. They cannot be seen with the eyes. They can be felt. They feel, they know what the child has done. It's a matter of great pride for them. They get an invisible certificate. And I told you, the best certificates are not given by a school, university, or an institution. The best certificates are given by life, and they cannot be seen, touched, felt, laminated. Your parents' certificates cannot be seen, touched, or laminated. But the joy they have is unfathomable. It's the first time you will be giving a gift to your parents. So you got to do your CA well. You're not doing CA for yourself. You're doing CA for your parents. They deserve it. That's the least you can do for them. This is the first beautiful gift you're going to give them, and give them a nice gift. You owe this to them. Even an animal goes around finding food for himself. But it's a man who does something for someone. And you are doing this for your parents. This is the least you can do for them. Right? So, guys, gear up. You're not doing CA for yourself. You're doing it for 2 most special people in your life. And you have to give them that gift. And I think most of us imagine that when we pass, we qualify, we get that final thing that we were through, we rush home to tell our parents. So, ultimately it's they. So make it them. You're not doing CA for yourself. You're doing it for them. When you're tired, when you're lonely, when you're exhausted, when you are depressed, just tell yourself, I am not doing this for myself. I am doing it for them. If I tire, if I fall down, if I don't get up, if I don't study, along with me, my parents will lose too. Along with me, my parents will fall down too. I can fall down 100 times, but I'm not going to let my parents fall down. I will not let them fall down. I want them to hold their heads high up in the society, especially the parents of girls. Girls were not really allowed to educate themselves once upon a time, and now they are, literally balanced, equal number of boys and girls. So you just imagine, how proud you're going to make your folks feel when you qualify. So when you're down and out, Just tell yourself, this is for my mother, this is for my father. I have to do it. I have to do it for them. Forget about me. I have to do it for them. And remember something, what you do for others always comes back to you. So what you do for your parents will come back to you many folds. So you owe it to them. This is the statistics which I found, out of the millions of students worldwide, millions who actually get a chance to study, probably of all the students, only about 7% have the honor, the opportunity to go for higher education. Maybe they probably have a college degree. And out of that, though I've written 1% here, it's way low. Less than 1% get a chance to get high professional qualification or education. Now, guys, just imagine how special and distinguished you are. You are in an elite category. I mean, if you look at the CA exams in India, it's one of the toughest courses in this country. At any point of time, there are probably 300, 400 millions of students who are studying different courses. Not probably less than 1 million are studying CA. And probably 5% of them get through. Do you know how distinguished, how distinct you are? You are very distinguished and distinct. You are very special, guys. You are very special. You see the bracket you belong to. You're not anyone. You're someone. You're someone very special. And to be someone really special, you got to put in a lot of hard work. You got to put in a lot of hard thoughts, and you got to put in a lot of motivation so that you reach that platform where you also become special. And along with you, the others who love you, they become special too, especially parents. Now, something very, very important. I get a lot of students telling me this. Sir, what will happen if I don't get through my first attempt? Sir, I'm doing my third time, I'm doing my fourth time, and they are failing. And it's common. In CA, failing is common. It shouldn't surprise you, shouldn't surprise anybody. In Japanese, they say, fall 7, stand up 8. You fallen 7 times, pick yourself up. 8th time, you stand up again. Ready? I'm not saying you're going to fall again, but you fall, you stand up, you fall, you stand up. What matters is that you complete what you began. CA is not just a course you do. It's a promise you make to yourself. CA is a promise. You tell yourself that I'm going to do this and I'm going to be special. I'm going to make my parents special and I'm going to make a spectacular life of myself. It's a promise and you got to keep the promise. Don't worry about the attempts. Please don't worry about the attempts. Let me tell you something. It's great if you get through in first attempt. It's great if you rank. Amazing. I mean, I would clap in advance. But if you don't, it doesn't matter also. CA is not about the first timers or the rankers. Only CA is about the rest of them too. Remember, if only the ranking and the first timers mattered, 95% of the CAs in this country would have been redundant. And that 95% includes me because I didn't get through my first attempt. Let me tell you something. Not that I'm proud about it, but I haven't got through and I don't even remember. If someone tells me how many attempts, I say, I don't remember. You got to go and ask the ICAI. It might be having it in their records. I don't remember. I only remember that I passed. That's what you need to remember, that you passed. Don't give up. It's the ones who don't give up, they get through. I have seen guys who probably get through well in their 40s, they qualify CA. They don't give up. They have their own circumstances and situations. I'm not saying that you will ever need that much time, but just hang on. Don't let it go and it will happen. You've taken it up, you must pass it. And this is a promise. This is the basic thing you can do to yourself. Otherwise, that failure is going to haunt you for the rest of your days. I know many who were in finals, who were in inter, and they didn't finish. They could have finished. They did not. And they tell me that all their lives, they are haunted by that thought. We should have done it. Why did we leave it? Oh my God, it would have been wonderful. I mean, you would be role models to your own children. When your children look up to you, to their mother, to their father, and they know that your mother, the father is a CA, just imagine what an impact it is going to make on the kids, on the next generation, that the parents are educated. Amazing impact. Children take parents as their role models. And what better role models can they have than to have professionally qualified parents standing on top of their heads and telling them what to do? So CA is not just a course, it's a promise. It's a promise to yourself, it's a promise to your parents. And you have to keep the promise. Promises have to be kept. You cannot break this one big promise. And don't forget, if you keep this promise to yourself, your own self-esteem, your self-dignity rises in your own eyes. Forget about everybody else. You tell yourself, I took it up, I finished it. You just imagine what a tremendous satisfaction it is that you took up and you finished it. It's amazing. It's like, it's a runner finishing, with resting the tape and holding his hand up that he's won. So, don't rob yourself of this fantastic, wonderful, amazing feeling that you have qualified. And, what amazing stories I get from students, who tell me that, what happens to them when they qualify. It's incredible. So don't give up. Don't give up until it is done. And finally, you must be wondering that we have a storyteller and he's telling us so many things, but he's not telling us any stories. So first, I'm going to tell you about a story of a student who qualified after a long time, a boy, and what he told me. And then I'm going to tell you the story of a young lady who qualified again after a long time and what she had to tell me. The first is of this boy who tells me that, sir, when I asked him that, how did you feel when you qualified? I mean, what was that feeling? And if you just express, he's saying, well, sir, to be very honest, I began when I saw that I had qualified, the first thing is I could breathe well, like I felt that I'd become Baba Ramdev. I could, literally do that Kapal Bhati. My God, I just felt that probably, some 10, 15 kilos of weight has been lifted off my chest. And I said, then what did you do? He's saying, I walked out on the streets and I found it a beautiful world. I looked at the skies, they were blue. I looked at the clouds, I looked at the tree, the birds. It was like a fairy tale. I was thinking, my God, life is so beautiful. Everything is so beautiful. And just imagine, last 3-4 years, he hadn't been seeing anything. He was like a blind man, just studying, going for exams, preparing, going for articleship. The world didn't exist. Suddenly, all that is over. And the world opens its doors and he walks in. He's actually walking into paradise. It's a paradise which he sees every day, the same lane, the same building, the same, but he was not really seeing it. His eyes were there, but it was beholding nothing. And he said, sir, I went home and you believe me, I said, I shut my doors and windows and study. Today, I'm going to open all my windows. All windows open. Let fresh air come in. And sir, I opened my window and I saw a huge building by the side of mine. And I was wondering, my God, this 10-story building, when did this come up? Just imagine. A building coming up next to his and doesn't even know. He's so engrossed. He said, sir, I came out of my house and I wanted to tell everybody. I saw my neighborhood auntie. I went to tell her that, auntie, I've qualified. Auntie got a big fright because all the while she was under the impression that I've lost my sanity because I used to look like a madman when I was doing my CA. So the first thing I had to tell her, not that I qualified, I told her, auntie, I'm all right. Auntie, main bilkul theek hu, auntie. Then auntie allowed him to come close. Otherwise, she was scared that he might bite her. That was his state when he was studying CA. So he's saying, sir, I found everyone nice. I got down of the house. I met the cobbler below my house. He sits there every day. I see him every day. I never exchange a word. That day I told him, Bhaiya, kaisa hai? Acha hai na? Sab theek hai na? He was looking at me wondering, what's wrong with me? He's saying, I found everyone nice. I found the world nice. I didn't know, like I was beyond expression. I was just wondering what I had been doing last 4 years. So, when you pass, it's amazing. And you deserve that feeling. You worked hard. You slogged. You need to see that day. And many such days. The ultimate purpose in life is to be happy. What are we running around so much for? You're not happy. What are you running around for? I told you that you must tell yourself that you'll pass every day. And this is a story of a young girl. And I'm telling you exactly, without a pint of exaggeration, what she told me. And this is what she told me in a CA class. She's saying, sir, me and my best friend were failing the CA finals 2 years at a row. All 4 attempts. We were depressed. We were dejected. We were fed up. We were frustrated. Our people at home were trying to find a match for us, trying to get us married. We were of a marriageable age. We didn't want to get married because we wanted to finish our CA. The only satisfaction we had, the 2 friends, was that we were failing together. When friends fail together, they feel good. There's a strange, good feeling that, okay, my friend is with me. Otherwise, you feel very lost and alone. So she sings, sir, and whenever I used to have these bouts of frustration and these bouts of the depression, I used to have a small dream. I used to like this dream. I think, what was the dream? She says, sir, the dream was Results have come out, and I'm actually in my friend's house, which is not very far from my house. And we are sitting and we are thinking, my God, the results are out. We are scared. We are nervous. We don't know what to do because we failed so many times. We try to get into the site and we've opened the site, but we don't have the courage to look into each other's numbers. And then I tell her, you look at mine, and I'm going to look at yours because you don't have the strength to look at your own number in case you have got through, you haven't got through. So she sings her, and we used to see each other's marks in my dreams, of course. And she tells me I got through, and I tell her you got through. And you know what girls do? They are hugging, screaming, shouting. The whole neighborhood knows something has happened. And finally, they know the girls have qualified. And she says, sir, moment that happens, I start running home. I haven't worn my slippers. House is just 2 buildings away. He thinks, sir, I don't know why. Whenever I would imagine I'm coming home, I would stand and I find the lift on the 7th floor. So I have no time to wait. I am energized. I feel I can climb the Everest. I'm running up the stairs, helter skelter, because I want to tell my parents. On the 4th floor, my younger brother is jumping down, climbing down the steps merrily. And I see him. I shout, I hug him, I throw him up in the air. My younger brother says, Didi, I know you've qualified. You got to take me to a real grand treat, and those kind of happy things. Sir, whenever I would be depressed, I would have this dream. I would have this imagination. It's the same video clipping I used to see in my mind every day. After the exams are over, the day the results actually came out, sir, astonishingly, I was in my friend's house. We were scared. I didn't remember this dream. We opened the website. She saw mine. I saw hers. I didn't remember the dream. She qualified. I qualified. We behaved like monkeys. I didn't remember the dream. I was too excited. The whole neighborhood came to know. The house came to know. There was a big hullabaloo in the house. I still didn't remember my dream. I ran home without my slippers. I didn't remember the dream. When I reached home, the lift was on the 7th floor. I did not remember my dream, sir. I ran up the stairs. On the 4th floor, my brother was walking down. I didn't remember the dream. It's only when I held my brother and threw him up in the air, that is the moment I remembered my dream, and I almost forgot to catch my brother when he was falling down. The only difference between the dream and reality was in my dream, I shout and yell with my brother in happiness. In this, my throat is choked. Not because I'm emotional, because I am shocked. That dream has come true, frame by frame. Frame by frame, it has come true. Every frame has come true. I couldn't believe it. How is it possible that what I have been dreaming for the past so many months is actually happening in my eyes exactly like a movie? Your future is your movie. You are the director, you are the producer, you are the actor, you are the musician. Make it beautiful, make it successful, make it wonderful, make it fantastic. It has to end like that. And believe that that movie is going to happen. Human beings have the faculty to dream. We have the faculty to imagine. Animals can't do that. Make use of it. Dream a beautiful dream and hang on to it like dear God. Just don't let that dream go. And that dream has to happen. And that's not a promise which I am giving you. That's a promise of the cosmos. You dream of something, you hang on to it, you believe it with every muscle, every nerve in your body. That dream has to come true, because the cosmos itself will conspire to ensure that your dream comes true because you believe in it. It's all about belief. It's all about belief. So I think we have kind of come to the end of the session, because I was very conscious that I finish it in an hour's time so that we have some time for our question answers. So I would now really request
On kar.
Yes, I would request.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, say Amar Agarwala. It was really a very enchanting kind of a story you have rather narrated. I also started thinking of the days when I cleared. The feeling which you have shared, I'm saying I also had the same feeling. I think all of us can, I think all we can remember is the hard work we have forgotten. But that moment when the result has come and we have passed, I think that is a sheer moment, such a joyous moment. I think I can also remember, I can visualize that time. Literally, I am telling you, ears were just coming out of my eyes and I didn't know what to say, because in our times we didn't have we were not getting the results on the website. We were supposed to go to the institute. Those
sheets.
These results were pasted on the sheets. We were so scared. Instead of the roll number,
these guys are so lucky that when those sheets used to be there and somebody sees
Yes.
that he's got through, he used to tear out that piece to show his family, and often he would
Yes.
tear out 2 more names and 2 guys are running after him. Please give me mine. Don't take mine and go. It was like that.
That is right. Like one is so used to be so nervous. Instead of roll number, I had seen the serial number. Then I said, "Oh, it's not my name. Oh, my name is not there." So it was such a feeling that I think what you narrated, I think yes, that is what is the reality. And all the listeners who are listening to you, I think they'll also be sharing, they'll also be having this feeling after, say, now our results are also going to come out for the students who have appeared in the July exam. I think that will be, we wish them all the best. And all those who will be appearing for the November exam, December exam, we wish them also, and thereafter also. Because it's a continuous process. Like you said, we need to work hard, we need to study, we need to plan, and I think we should not stop studying. I think that's the mantra. Mr. Amir Agarwal, like we have around say 50 to 60 questions we have got. I have selected around 15 to 20 questions, because some are repetitions also and some are like, but I must say 2 of the students, what they have written. One is that, Sarji, I had taken 2 attempts for foundation and now knew my mistake. After 5 years from now, I'm going to meet you as a CA. Thanks, Sarji, for the session. I think that's something. I thought I should start with this. Like, students have been so overwhelmed, and they said thank you for saying that, sir. Earlier, the first part was by Sparsh. Then it is Ruth. Ruth is saying thank you for saying that, sir. Everyone keeps telling me to study for 12 to 14 hours a day. Thank you for helping us. And then one of the students, again, they have said, not a question, but just an appreciation. I have heard Amar sir in the OT, the orientation class, and he always do justice to the time. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to come what may. I am ready. So these are a few of the appreciations I thought I'll start with.
Thank you so much,
I think this will motivate you also. I think everybody requires that motivation.
Of course, everyone needs motivation. Of course. Thank you so much, students, for such wonderful responses. I really appreciate it.
Right. The question, this is from Amrisha Sawant.
Right.
She's saying, how to remain consistent and focused while studying for any subject.
Okay. See, Amrisha, what happens is it's very normal that when you go through your preparation, you tend to sometimes become a little slack and slow. If you remember, I have told you in this presentation that you need to make a study plan for every subject. Now, moment you're looking at the study plans and you suddenly find that in one subject, the amount which you have studied or covered is very little. It implies that you haven't been giving attention over there. So you need to give more time to that subject, because your plan shows you that you haven't been giving time. Now, you could not be giving time because maybe you don't like the subject. It could be that, you did not find enough time for the subject. Now, you don't like the subject. There is no mantra. I don't have any chavan prash that I can give you 2 spoons and make the subject good. But you got to tell yourself that sometime you got to have karele ka juice and kaddu ka sabzi. Not because you love them, but because they are good for your health. You're not well, you got to have a tablet or a medicine. This is also medicine. You have to have it. You got to tell yourself, this is important. I have to do it. Everything which is good in life doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be interesting. Sometimes it's not interesting. It's just value additive. So it is adding value to me. I have to do it whether I like it or not. So it's maybe you're neglecting that subject, and you got to give more time to it. You may like it, you may not like it, but you need to give time because your study plan shows you're not giving enough time. That will automatically make you consistent. Otherwise, this subject will traumatize you and will bring you down despite of your good performance in other subjects.
Thank you. Now, this is the question from Tejaswini. What she's saying is that how to study after a failure in exam, when it's the first time you ever face failure and have to study again, which you have already studied.
See, Tejaswini, failure is very normal, it's very common. And as our chairperson said, that probably it prepares us. Maybe you're not ready for the future. So, of course, you feel bad when you don't get through. You feel bad, your parents feel depressed, that there is a kind of a heavy, sorrow hanging over your house. I think, Tejaswini, the best thing is, you're a girl, you know this very well. Girls know the art of crying. I think all of us need to, at some point or the other of our lives, give a good cry. Get into a room, get into people or be with someone, may your mother, whoever you're comfortable with, have a good cry. The sorrow has to come out of you. Only then will the study go in. You are too full of emotions. You cannot study. The emotion has to go. Get down, have a hearty cry, cry where you get hiccups. Have you seen children cry? When children cry a lot, they get hiccups. Grown-ups have forgotten that art. Once you get hiccups, it's nature's way of telling your sorrow is out. So you got to give a healthy cry with someone you really love. Once that sorrow is out, give it 2 or 3 days. Once you feel your heart tells you you're ready, go ahead. Don't be in a rush. You didn't get through today, from tomorrow I have to study, nothing doing. Next 3 days, sit back and cry, feel bad, feel sorrowful, but make sure your grief is out. Don't keep that grief. Cry out the grief. You need a good cry. That's the answer. Simple as that. You got to move ahead, and it doesn't matter. The day you qualify, you won't even remember what you failed and how you failed and which subject you got less marks. You won't even care a damn. No one does. You won't. Ma'am, I think your voice is not coming on.
Sorry. Sorry, I was on mute. I didn't realize it. It's from Kishan Kumar Agarwal. I think this is the problem, the issue the current generation is facing. The question I think he has asked is very, very natural. How to keep focused in today's era of social media and lots of stuff scattered to get swept away?
See, I think, Kishan, the main criteria is the machine. Most of us, especially the younger generation, is married to their mobiles. Now, there lies the problem. You're married to your mobile, and that mobile is calling every 5 minutes. Now, if it starts calling every 5 minutes and it needs your presence, then I think you've got a major problem in your hand. Remember something, machines were made to make life better. We were not made for machines. Machines were made for us. But unfortunately, machines were made to save time. And if you look at it, what they are doing is wasting time, and they waste your time like crazy. Also, remember something, like it is written on cigarette packets nowadays, that smoking is injurious. Cigarette smoking was in vogue for 250 years. But this is just being written in the packet last 25 years. Before that, it wasn't written. Doesn't mean cigarette smoking was not injurious. I'm telling you, 20 years from now, the moment you put on your mobiles, the first message which is going to come is using mobiles is injurious to health. But by then, the damage is done. Do you know, the last 20 years, the incidence of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and cancer has gone up by 200% thanks to use of mobiles. So give yourself a break. When you're studying, keep your mobiles away. At night, put your mobiles on airplane mode or some other mode. The more screen time you save, the more time you spend on your studies. You need to keep your machines away. That's the only thing. And it's going to come with practice. It won't happen overnight. Because it's a bad practice we've all got into. Keep your machines away. When you're studying, I think your machine should be away. When you take a break, okay, you can look up your messages. But otherwise, Your machine should be nowhere near your study table, and especially not with you at night, because you need to avoid that radiation, because radiation is removing your memory. It is killing your gray cells. It's not letting you think enough and remember. Next.
Yes. Nivedita is asking, please suggest how to face fear either before or during examinations.
See, Nivedita, right, ma'am?
Yes, Nivedita.
See, it's normal to be a little worried and fearful before exams. There's nothing abnormal about it. Everybody faces that fear. So, I wouldn't suggest that you go to the exam hall. The only way you can go to the exam hall without fear is being stoned. You're high on drugs, you go, you don't feel no fear. That is not needed. Fear is like a chemical dose into your blood. It helps you to perform better. So it's fine if you have some amount of fear. But if you keep telling yourself every day and every morning, like I told you, that I'm going to do well and I'm going to do well today and I'm going to be finishing my CA, this self-motivation will be a very great way to cushion yourself from the fear. And the best antidote to fear is a good preparation. So you're well prepared, it's an antidote. You tell yourself every day you're going to pass, that's an antidote. Still you feel some fear, I think it's perfectly all right. There's no harm in it. Feel fear, it's good for you. As long as you don't have a kind of a breakdown before the exams.
Welcome, sir. We have now amongst us our Vice Chairman, CA Ranjit Agarwal. Sir, welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, we were actually waiting for you only. We have started with the question and answers round. And the way Sir has, CA Amar Agarwala has really enchanted all of us by his storytelling. So we are also reminded of our days when we had appeared for exams.
So the students are being thrilled by the deliberation of Amar.
Right, sir. They are really thrilled, sir. They have really appreciated. And sir, a few of the questions again we are having. Sir, if this one you can also answer. Sir, to you, how to gain command over subjects like law and taxation, which includes interpretational skills?
In this case, as far as this interpretational skill is concerned, because that is the core area of our CA profession, because what we learn in our CA course, we have to make an opinion on the historical data provided to us. So once you are making an opinion, you have to interpret the various laws and regulations. Now, how to do that? That is the way, that is the region articleship training is required. And when you go for the articleship training, and when you appear before the income tax officer or other regulatory aspect, you make the opinion, you make the submission, then this kind of skill is required. By reading, in my opinion, by reading, the knowledge of interpretation cannot come. And that's why our course is balanced in the regard, theoretical knowledge and practical skill, both combined together, then you can become a complete solution provider. So you have to learn this art as a article trainee in your firm. म्यूट है आपका, वंदना जी म्यूट है.
Sorry. Sir, this question is posed by Tanzila. She's saying, how many months before the exam should we ideally start studying, both for theory and practical?
You answer, madam. This answer, you give this answer.
I think, sir, I will surely answer, but students, while they were listening to CA Amar Agarwal, he said, you have to start from the very day. It's not that you have to start 3 months before or 4 months before the exam. You should start the day you are registering in the course. Study should become your habit, because you need to study, because every time you are not studying, you are studying and then you are recapitulating. So this exercise, at least for, you need to study for 8 to 10 months. If you really want to do it in the first attempt, you have to be thorough, you have to be consistent, and then I think you can do it. Sir, anything else you would like to add?
To add what Vandana ji is saying, Amar, students complain that this study mat is not updated or all these things. So, and why we are getting the updated material before the examination? So my answer to these questions are like study mat is given you not to for the examination purpose. If that is the case, why this? The moment you register, you have been supplied to the study mat, because the idea is you have to go through the study material the moment you register in the course. Whenever something new changes are coming, you have to get the updated version. That's fine. But that does not mean that you need only updated version before the examination. So what you will do 2.5 years? So the whole idea of the study mat also, to you have to learn little bit every day. We used to study 2 hours a day in spite of doing our offices, because in the morning tuitions were there. After office hour we come to home and then we study 2 hours self study. So it's a continuous process. CA is not a short term course where 2-3 months you study and you can pass. You may pass even though, but the kind of concept is required, analytical skill is required, that will not come. We have seen many students who have qualified, they have been recruited in the campus, 20 lakhs rupees salary is also there, but after 3 months they were fired. They were fired because the kind of expectation of the corporate house was that he was not up to the expectation. Because so just a CA degree is not a tool to get you the good job. Your knowledge and everything will decide your fate in future. So study cannot be a short term, it's a continuous study. If you really want to learn the nitty-gritty of CA course and you want to be a good chartered accountant.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one of the students is saying ICAI module is getting more and more student friendly, sir.
Thank you.
I thought, let me also.
It's a compliment
Right.
to you.
Sir, it is to you and to the entire BOS team, sir. Sir, another question is the Sahil is posing this question that, sir, you said have hobbies also, but in inter we have to go to articleship also, then come back and study. So it is not actually possible. I think, sir, this is addressing to Mr. Amar Agarwal.
Sahil,
I think you have to give the solution for this.
Sahil, let's say hypothetically, let's take a bad example. Let's say that one of the boys who's studying CA in your place, his name is also Sahil, he's not you, he's another Sahil, and he has a habit of smoking, or maybe he has a habit of having pan parag or such kind of habits. Now it doesn't matter, or maybe he's got a girlfriend. Now it doesn't matter how busy his day is, he'll find time to smoke, he will find time for pan parag, and even if it is 11:30 at night, he will have half an hour to chat with his girlfriend. And even if she's studying CA, let's assume. You know, you always find time for things which you like to do or which relaxes you. Always. So, you know, you don't have to find time for that. Time will find you for it. So, you know, if you have this mind that, no, I must get some leisure time, maybe to read a book, maybe to play a game, no matter how bad your schedule is, you can always do it. And you know, we always make it sound that we have to go to college, or we have to go for tuitions, or articleship holds us till 7. It's not always true. There are many days when the college doesn't happen. There are many days when you know, we leave articleship early. There are many days when our principals are out of town and we get us some time to gallivant. So all those leisure hours we have, in those hours we can very well pursue a few habits to relax us, so we are better prepared for exams. So साहिल, ये सारी चीजें सब कोई कर सकता है, आप भी कर सकते हैं. 24 घंटे में कोई देश चलाता है और 24 घंटे में कोई आपके घर के छोटे छोटे काम नहीं कर पाता है. So you know, it's the 24 hours for everyone. And I'm sure if you want, you can find some leisure time. All of us can, all of us have, all of us will. So can you.
Yes. Chandra Kumari is asking, sometimes mind gets struck and nothing is coming in the mind. Why it happens? Sometimes it happens in exam also. After taking some time, then work. How to manage this?
See,
how to overcome this?
See, I can answer this very well because I'm a writer, and you know, writers are supposed to have something called a writer's block. When he can't write, for whatever reason, the stories are not coming. He doesn't get any thoughts. Same thing happens to a student. Suddenly studying, you don't feel like studying. You're in the middle of an exam, answer is not coming. It's your mind playing tricks with you. You know who plays the biggest tricks with you? Who deceives you the most? Your own mind. And we let that happen. Tell your mind, stop playing stupid games with me. Of course, I know it. You got to tell your mind that. In the middle of the exam, tell your mind, stop it. You can abuse your mind with whatever filthy language you want to, because it's your mind. Tell your mind to shut up and get down to work. Of course, you know it. So, you allow yourself to be fooled. And then you give yourself sorrowful stories. My mind didn't work. I was tired. That's all rubbish. Mental block is all rubbish. It happens to all of us. Sometimes we are too tired. You just tell yourself, okay, I don't feel like studying. If you're at home, you're not feeling like studying, get up, read a book, go meet a friend, it's fine. Examination all, you can't do it. You just tell your mind, you scold your mind, you admonish your mind, tell it, just shut up and get down to work. This has to be done. Don't play games with me. And you'll be surprised how well your mind responds to you. Use your mind like an instrument. Use it like a dog. It will follow you what you say. Don't let the dog become your master.
Right. Thank you. Veni is asking how to overcome the society when we fail. Whenever I sit for study, always used to think, what would people say?
Haven't you heard that Hindi song? Kuch to log kahenge, log not been given the chance to educate themselves. And look at Afghanistan. The girls are not allowed to come out of the house. You have every liberty to do what you want to. Forget about people. आप अच्छा करोगे तो भी बुरा बोलेंगे और बुरा करोगे तब तो बुरा बोलेंगे ही. I have had so many students who've told me, my relatives have come and told my parents, क्यों CA करवा रहे हो? Why are you making him do CA? He's not a good student. Arey, he will be depressed. And those same people have come and congratulated my parents when I qualified. I too knew that he will get through. This is how people are. They change color like chameleons. Don't worry about people. They will always have something or the other to say. And especially when it's a girl child, well, our society especially, or inspired to say things, just let it be. When an elephant walks down the street, the stray dogs bark. It doesn't bother the elephant. So when that happens, you imagine you're an elephant and all the people who are talking, I don't need to tell you what you should imagine them to be.
Right. Aditi is asking, is the foundation examination is in the month of November or in December? In the year 2021. Students, you know very well, the examination for foundation and for other levels also are in the month of December only. And sir, to you, sir, specifically, students are wanting to know when is the result going to be out, sir?
As a member of the examination committee, we are trying our best to release the foundation in final result within 15th of September, and then next 4 days intermediate. That is our effort. 1 day either in either, that might be possible, but our effort is to release within 15th of September 2021.
And sir, thank you, sir. I think, sir, we have covered almost all the important questions. Sir, now I thank CA Amar Agarwala for his particular thought-provoking storytelling. And now I would like to, sir, I'll request, sir, to, sir, give your concluding remarks. Sir, I think you are on mute, sir. Sir, can't hear you. Sir, we are through with the question answers. Sir, I request you, sir, to give your concluding remarks, sir, and your vote of thanks also.
How many students were logged in this program?
Sir, say
510 YouTube.
Sir, around 3,000 students in all, sir.
Oh, great.
From YouTube and from the ECPL platform.
So,
around 3,000.
First of all, my compliment to all these 3,000 students who have joined this interactive session on to know the nitty-gritty of how to clear the CA examination, and who can be the better speaker than Amar Agarwal. He's a writer, author, he's a faculty in our GMCH, MCH orientation classes also, and he was the teacher earlier. So I think the way Amar give his lecture, the way he explained the requirement of the CA and why you should do CA, what is the need. There are so many 3,000 career opportunity in India. Why only CA? What is the glorious past of the CA course? What is the future ahead for the chartered accountant. Who are the CA? If you study, if you do some research, what is the future of the CA, how CA course is relevant, what is the economy of this country. If India has the $3 trillion economy, more than 75% of the financial transactions are certified, attested by directly, indirectly by only one professional, and that is CA. So we feel pride to be a CA, and when we see the contribution of the chartered accountant in the economy, whether it's an insolvency, whether it's a forensic, whether it's a valuation, GST, income tax, audit, what not, everywhere the chartered accountants are doing their job with the best of the recovery. Of course, hither and thither, India is a large country, hither and thither some black ships might be there. That is in every profession. That does not mean that the CA course is not good. CA is a good course. We feel proud to be a CA, and I must thank Amar, who has come here on our request to enthrall the audience here, the nitty-gritty of the CA, how you can balance your lifestyle, your study, your hobby, all these things, so that you can come out with a better person, better student. So my thanks to Amar for joining this virtual webinar to guide our students, and Board of Studies is very indebted to you, Kamar, for taking time out your busy schedule and guiding our students. I also thank my chairman, Jai Chera, who is the chairman of this board, and Vandana Nagpal, director, Board of Studies, for taking initiative to organize this kind of webinar for the benefit of the students at large. And Sukriti has also planned this session very well. So all the members of this Board of Studies, headed by Bandana ji, Sukriti, and all, my thanks, my compliment to you. And students, I would like to tell you, we have also come out with a mobile app. I hope Bandana ji might have told you. It's a mobile app in Android and iOS. Both the versions are there. More than 1 lakh students have already downloaded. All types of study material, mock test, all the live virtual classes, practical assessment test, all kind of RTP are there at one place. Whether you can see, you can watch, all these things are there in the mobile app, which is very helpful to you. And as you are rightly said, the Board of Studies is trying its best to make the study material more friendly. This year also, under the guidance of Chairman Sir, we have tried to remove unnecessary portion of the study mat, and our commitment this year is that study mat has to be 100% error free, zero defect, zero effect. So that is our whole objective and commitment, that study mat will be 100% error free. With these words, I thank all of you for joining this webinar. Amar Agarwal, Bandana ji, Sukriti, and everybody for joining. I wish all of you best of luck. Those who can come out with the flying color in this examination, my best wishes to them. Those who could not, they can try for next term. I wish all of you best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I think one thing you have missed, sir, that's very important, sir. It's about the ask your query. Sir, if you would like to apprise students also about.
Ask Your Query is a tool which we are now starting in our mobile app section, which we are starting from first week of September, wherein any query related to Board of Studies, you can go to the mobile app, ask your query, and we have a commitment within 72 hours. We have made a target within 72 hours that query has to be resolved. And you will get the alert SMS or notification on your mobile itself. So in the mobile app will be one of the one-point solution for all the issues related to students, Board of Studies, in that Ask Your Query. So that is our commitment. From first week of September, we are launching this scheme in that mobile app. It is already there, but that icon is not working. 1st of September, it will be live. So that is for the benefit of the students.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, C. Amar Gowala, for your this enthralling session. And sir, our Vice Chairman, sir, we thank you for the guidance which you have given always to the students and to all of us to work harder. And my sincere thanks to our Chairman, C. A. Jai Chera, who always has been motivating us and guiding us to do better for the students. And we assure you, students, that the BOS is continuously working for you, and we are always there for any difficulty you have. And we thank you all for being with us for all this time, and we wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you
very
once
much.
again to sir, both of you.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you very much.
Vandanaji, thank you so much for making these programs possible. You and your team, you're invisible, but you do amazing work. No thanks is enough. And thank you, Ranjit, and thank you, Jay Cheraji, who's not here at the moment. Wonderful work by the Board of Studies. Their initiative and their enterprise is making all this possible. I'm sure that you'll do more and more as the days go by. More feathers will be added to your cap. And students, best wishes for your exams, for your future, for your CA. And I'm sure that this institute has a long way to go. They say, that the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but we have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. But the CA doesn't say that. The CA says, we have promises to keep and piles to earn before we sleep and piles to earn before we sleep. So I'm sure that all of you will earn piles. Thank you very much. And I'll take leave. Ranjit, we'll be in touch. Vandana ji, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the poetic end. Thank you. Thank you.